Hey, what's up, guys? Max here. LifeAfterArtSchool.net. You already know. We're gonna go over like the top reasons why most artists struggle when they're first getting started. Okay, now let me tell you what inspired this video. So I was in one of my art groups and on Facebook, and I came across this post that somebody had put in there, to where she was mentioning how she felt that artists should support other artists, which I totally agree with, and how basically some of the people that she looked up to, she had reached out to them to ask them just some questions, you know what I mean, about like, because she was doing one of her first shows, and she wanted to know like how to do certain things, like where to get some products like buttons or stickers or whatever, you know what I mean, like how to get some good printing done. And their response was basically like, Google it, or I don't have time to talk to you, or whatever. And I can honestly say this, and maybe I'm just weird, and maybe I'm a little bit different. I actually enjoy helping people. Okay, I enjoy like when somebody reaches out to me, and for any of you guys that have actually reached out to me and chit-chatted with me and asked me questions and stuff like this, like I'm very quick to respond. I'm very quick to give honest advice. If you come at me with some stupid shit, I'm gonna give you some stupid answers, you know what I mean? Or I'll just question like the validity of like what you think you're doing. But if you honestly come at me with like an honest question, like I will respond, and I will give you the best advice. All right, let's just put it this way. Number one, there's this false mindset of scarcity, to where it's like, if you're just getting started, right? If you ask anybody that's like super successful, 9 times out of 10, like they'll talk to you, you know what I mean, and they'll share ideas with you, and they'll share concepts, and they'll get into it with you, and they'll give you some advice, and they'll talk to you about whatever you're doing and how to help you. But for a lot of times with like people starting out, or just like people that are struggling, or people that are just like, they're just fucked up, you know what I mean, they're like fucked up selfish artists. A lot of times like their response is going to be shit like that, like, Google it, why are you asking me this, like whatever. And it's almost like there's this like weird there's this weird like sense of competition. Okay, and what you got to realize is like, when it comes to art, and you like, here's what's cool, you like this, my daughter painted a heart, and the heart's yelling "I love you," and I just realized that it's behind my head. So anyway, it's just kind of funny because I'm sharing the love here. Okay, that wasn't planned or anything, but fuck, where was I? Okay, but all right, so it's a false sense of like scarcity. So it's almost like there's like, and what do I mean by scarcity, right? Like, scarcity is like, well, if I help this person out, then somebody might buy stuff from them and not buy it from me. Okay, I was actually having a conversation with a mentor of mine, Daryl Goza, who I fucking love, and he's getting on one of these videos with me. We haven't confirmed like an actual date yet, because he's busy like setting up his comic books and stuff. But he was one of, like, when I was actually in college, he was one of my professors, and he taught me. He was one of my art professors, and here's what was really cool about him, because like I connected with him over Facebook, and he's and you'll see it in the video that I do with him, but he's a beast. Like, he's extremely intelligent, or whatever. And one of the things we had like an hour and a half conversation. We hadn't talked for like almost a year. Like, we'd talk to each other on Facebook, but like an actual phone conversation, because I was talking to him about details of what we're doing with the channel and everything else. And he's fired up, and he's got all these like independent comics that he's doing, and he's doing really well, and he's getting like booked to like go speak and teach at schools and stuff like that. And there's like his mindset, and this is why I love him, and this is why I love dealing with expansive thinkers. His thing is this: is like, there's more than enough money to go around between everybody, right? If you're doing a show, let's say you're doing a Comic-Con show, or a fan show, or an expo, or something like that, right? I don't want to be the only guy selling anything at one of these shows. because that to me, like yeah, it puts money in my pocket, but it fucks up the economy for everybody else. Okay, it fucks up the creative cycle for everybody else. Like, I want everybody to eat. Okay, and this has always been my mentality, and this is also why I butted heads with a lot of people, like when I in certain circles and whatever, because like to me it wasn't about me making all the money, it wasn't about the boss making all the money, it wasn't about the owner of the company making all the money. It was actually about like everybody getting a fair cut. You know what I mean? And not even so much like a fair, like not like, hey, if you don't work you're still gonna get paid. It was more of a like distribute. You know what I mean? Like if you earned it and you deserve it, and you're working for it, and you have the talent, and people want to spend money with you, like, you should get a cut, you know? So, and this was more like sales talk and shit like that, but it applies to this, because when it comes to art, when it comes to things like this, is like, I know, like, and here's the thing, like, I do some weird art, you know what I mean? And it's not like weird, but not everybody's gonna like my art, and I know that, okay? And I'm totally cool and comfortable with that. So when somebody else, you know, if I'm bidding on a project or something, or you know, somebody's looking for an artist, I know that I may not always be the best artist to fit them, you know what I mean, for what they're looking for. Okay, there are certain things that I don't like doing, there are certain things that I just honestly like prefer not to do, and there are certain things that I just cannot do, okay? So realistically, a lot of times, if I know somebody that I feel is qualified, more qualified than me to do the job that they're looking for, I will refer that person to that artist, because to me, it's good pay it forward karma, but it's also like, I want everybody to eat. You know, that's the whole thing. It's like, when you're making money, let's just put this way, the difference between being like a broke ass, and when I was a broke ass dude, everybody that I knew was a broke ass, okay? And we did broke ass things. Like, there were literally times, I remember I was hanging out in my friend's studio, and between 6 of us, this is like when I smoked a lot of pot and drank a lot too, but between 6 of us, we had enough money, like, to buy a big jug of like that Carlo Rossi wine that like made you shit red the day afterwards, and then maybe like a dime sack or a dub sack of some weed. Okay, and it was like 6 guys all chipping in for like a Saturday or a Sunday, and like that was like, all right, we're gonna get what we need, and then we're gonna go do our creative stuff. And as much as like I really had, I had a lot of fun. We had a lot of great experiences at the time. There's nothing worse than being the only person making money and all of your friends are piss broke. Okay, there's nothing worse than being the only successful artist that you know, and all of your friends aren't making money. There's nothing worse than being, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if you once you start getting around people that are making money, they want to be around other people that are making money. Why? Because the thought process just becomes more expansive, okay? Because you're literally thinking about more ways to expand your life, to expand your market, to expand your thought process, to expand your network, to expand a lot, you know what I mean? To just expand in general, okay? And whereas like, and like, you're thinking on a longer term basis. It's not like the survival of today kind of mindset, to where, you know, I'm worried about just getting what I need to get done today. You know what I mean? I'm worried about just making enough money so that I can do what I need to do today. Okay, which I think is a very destructive thought process. Okay, so it's like there is no real scarcity out there in the market. So stop thinking like that. Okay, if anything, like, if you want to reach out to people, and what's weird is though is that, like, when that happens, when somebody that you admire, somebody that you look up to, like, kind of shits on you like that, it deters you. You know, it deters you from reaching out to other people, because you think that everybody else is going to be like that, which is fucked up in general, because you'd think, like, you know, I just know this, right? If you look at just about anything else, and there are like different versions of this, but for the most part, right, if you're dealing with like athletes and stuff, like, athletes are, you know, like the really good ones are the ones with a non-selfish mindset. are the ones that are going out there doing like these kids camps and these community camps, and they're going out there and inspiring kids to want to be better athletes, right? If you know, there are musicians that do shit like that. There are you know, Ryan Reynolds, right? Like, I'm sure you saw Deadpool, but if you read the, because I finally watched Deadpool with I made my wife watch Deadpool with me, and she went on IMDb or whatever it is, and read all the trivia, I guess, behind like Deadpool. But like Ryan Reynolds like was doing a lot of charity work where he would like go to like cancer, like kids cancer hospitals and stuff, dressed up as Deadpool to like cheer them up. And he like ended up, let's just put it this way, the story is that like this kid with terminally ill cancer was the first person to actually see the final cut of Deadpool before it went out and hit the theaters. Okay, and it's stuff like that that like make me admire somebody on a personal level, not even so much like I mean, like, obviously like Deadpool is a fucking awesome movie, but there are things like that I'm like, wow, that person's a good person, you know what I mean? And it's like, and that kind of energy put out there actually like comes back tenfold. Okay, whereas like if you're just fuck you, you know what I mean, if your whole attitude's like fuck you, leave me alone, you create blocks and you create super limitations on your actual growth ability. You know, when you're too, and I mean, here's the thing, like, I'm confident in what I do. I can come off as cocky sometimes. I can come across as sometimes a little self-righteous or whatever, but I know all this, and it's like, and I know that, you know, not everybody's going to like me. I know not everybody's going to like what I'm saying. I know not everybody's going to like what I'm doing. But at the same time, it's like, I do know that the people that I resonate with, that feel what I'm talking about, that, you know, they're going to understand, and they're going to go along, and they'll agree with what I'm saying, or at least like they'll respect what I'm saying or what I'm doing, or, you know, anything like that. Because like, to me, it's about helping people, you know what I mean? To me, it's like paying it forward. To me, it's don't get me wrong, I mean, like, the shit I put on YouTube, it's free content, but there is plenty of stuff that I charge for, you know? Like, I just took on a new coaching client, which actually, who found me on fucking YouTube, which is really funny, and guy contacted me, wants me to coach him, and we've had, like, 2 sessions already, and this guy's fired the fuck up, like, he wants to work, and he's like, man, and it was just, we actually, because he lives near me, and he's like, hey man, I want to meet you, let's have lunch, whatever. And I'm like, I'm always kind of weird about that at first, because I'm like, who is this person? You know, but I met him, sat down with him, and we talked for about an hour and a half, and then he, like, literally, he's like, I want you to coach me, I want you to mentor me, like, we have so much in common, and there are certain things that I'm stuck on that I know you can help me with. So, we agreed on a price, and I took him on as a coaching client, and I'm giving him step-by-step instructions on things that he needs to do to grow and expand himself, and he's doing it. And here's the thing, he's super grateful for the information, he's super grateful for the coaching, super grateful for the knowledge, and it's fucking inspiring, man, because I'm like, I'm really making a difference in somebody else's life, you know what I mean? Like, when I read the messages and stuff, and people send me, it's like, I love your content, this is great, whatever, you know, like, that shit, it inspires me to create more and more content, okay? And I'm actually, like, I'm revamping my entire, like, lifeafterartschool.net site because of this, because I'm going, you'll see it when it's done, like, I mean, you can go to it now, but you're not really going to see much of the changes on it, but because of, like, a lot of the conversations that I've had with people, I am revamping a lot of the things that I've been doing, because I feel there's so much more to give, there's so much more to teach, okay? So I don't even know if I'm going to go with, like, a top 10. Maybe I'm going to go with it. So basically, it's like, there is no scarcity, okay? And it's like, you should support other artists, you should support other creatives, you know? If you think about how anybody gets anywhere, it's because of support. And I just know this, is that, like, I don't support everybody, because I like to, like, get a better understanding of, like, who I'm supporting. But I just know this, it's like, I never forget the people that helped me get to where I am. And if anything, it's like, now that I'm at a point where I'm at now, I'm reaching out to people that helped me get to where I am, and I'm paying it back, or I'm paying it forward, to where it's like, hey man, you helped me get here, let me help you with some promotion, let me help you with some PR work, let me help you with some marketing, whatever. So that right there. So it's basically, it's like, there is no scarcity in the market. 2 is basically like a lack of, All right, so basically, it's not gonna be top 10. It's just gonna be fucking 2 things, okay? Because I was thinking about this the other day, because my buddy put this post up on Facebook. Okay, and it was the post that was basically, it's like, I'm ready to be that guy. Okay, now what does this mean to me? I don't know if you ever saw Swingers before. If you haven't, it's great. If you like Vince Vaughn, this was like early Vince Vaughn, when Vince Vaughn was like skinny and whatever. It was a great fucking movie. And there's this scene in the movie where they're talking to the character, and basically it's like the guy's all down on himself. He's all like, oh, I'm a loser. And they're talking to him, and it's like, if you've seen it, it's like, you're so money, man. You're so money. You're like this bear, and you got these claws, and you're trying to figure out how to kill the bunny. It's like, how do I kill the bunny? And there was this one line that Vince Vaughn said to the guy. He was like, listen, man, I don't want you. He's like, you're gonna go over there. You're gonna go talk to the girl, and you're gonna go get her number. Okay, and I don't want you to go over there and be the PG-13 guy that everybody hopes is gonna make it happen. I want you to be the rated R guy. I want you to be the guy in the rated R movie that you're not quite sure that you like, but you just, and it's like, I'm changing the wording on this a little bit, but this is how I always took it. It's like, but you're gonna be the bad motherfucker that gets shit done. And what's funny is, I saw this movie like 10, 15 years ago, and when I ran a sales company, this was like, for a while, it was a mandatory movie to watch if you were to come and work for me, because it was that kind of mindset that I wanted everybody to have. It's like, I don't want you to be the pushover pussy guy. You know what I mean? I don't want you to even be like, I'm a nice guy, but I'm not a pushover. And I stand my ground when it comes to certain, for most things. Like, I have an opinion on a lot of things, and I'm not afraid to voice my opinion on anything. And with that being said, it's like, you have to have an opinion, you have to stand for something, and you have to not be a fucking pushover in life, okay? And I think that with a lot of creatives, because we're so in tune with everything else, we have a hard time standing up for ourselves. We have a hard time talking about ourselves. We have a hard time, like, just being confident, because so many people, or maybe it's just the way society is fucking, like, just kind of brainwashed you into thinking this, but it's like, we value money more than we value creation. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about, like, at least in American society, right? Like, I was looking at, like, there are European countries where it's like, and I'm just gonna go on a teacher level here, where it's like, if you're a doctor, like, there's doctors, there's, you know, lawyers, and then it's like the third greatest position to be in that country, I think it might be Finland or something, is a teacher, because teachers are respected there, whereas, like, teachers in the United States are not respected. I wrote this whole long thing on this, but I'm just going to get to the point of this, where it's like, you know, we don't value education because we know educators are not paid well, but we value, like, what we pay for, you know. So it's like, when you know, why do you go to college? You go to college to get a job. You go to college to be this. And most people, so many people, like, in today's society, are not passion people. You know what I mean? They're money people, to where it's like, they're just going out to, they're not even doing what they want to do. They're doing what they think they can make the most money in. You know, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to school for this. Why? Well, because I know I can make a lot of money in it. And it's like, if you're not passionate, and it's like, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, if you're not passionate about what you do, all the money in the fucking world isn't really going to make a difference to you. You know what I mean? Because eventually, it's like, when you've got all the money and you've got everything else, it's like, now what? Now what? Because the real kicker of, like, what do I do now? Like, I missed out on all these opportunities. I could have done so much more with my life. Kind of mindset kicks in, and this happens actually with so many fucking super wealthy people that did not go after their dreams. They just did what they needed to do for the money. It's, if you think about midlife crises and all this other shit, like, that's a lot of the reason behind it, why they're doing it. So back to what I was originally saying, it's like, you have to believe in yourself, okay? You have to believe in what you're doing, and there are ways. Let's just put it this way. When I was first getting started, you know what I mean, and I can admit this, man, I was not very confident about what I did. I was not very confident about myself. I had a lot of fucking weird mental issues. You know what I mean, about self-worth, self-value, all this other stuff. And yes, I'm playing with the Q-tip, but I read a lot of books, and I got some coaching and stuff. I mean, actually, I went through therapy for a little bit, but a lot of the stuff, like I read books on salesmanship and like how to sell, and a lot of the sales books, like the best ones that I read, were basically more about being confident, knowing and valuing yourself, and loving yourself, and not being afraid to say no or to walk away from a bad deal that isn't aligned with who you are. Okay. And it's something that I've always, like, once I learned it and once I implemented it into my life, like, I'm not afraid to say no to bad deals anymore. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, when I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, it's like, oh man, it's a shitty deal, but it's exposure. You know what I mean? Or it's like, but this guy says he knows a lot of people, or but he said he's gonna hook me. It's like, fine. Now it's just like, dude, fuck you. You know? And this is more on a business level, but it's like, if you come at me on like some free work shit or like super discount work shit, and you give me all these like bullshit lines to where it's like, well, it's gonna help you get exposure. It's like, fuck you and your exposure, dude. I don't need it. I know how to market. You know, that shit may work with the third graders that you're fucking trying to sell your bullshit story to, but I don't need your help with exposure. You know, and it's and you have to have that kind of attitude. You know what I mean? It's almost like a bitch, I don't need you. You know what I mean? And I hope the ladies watching this don't get offended by this, but it works in both ways. And it's like, motherfucker, I don't need you kind of attitude, to where it's like, when you're, I'm just going to put it to you like this, right? And this is why you have to change the way you're thinking. Like, once I started to believe that I was successful, and what's funny is I started to believe I was successful before I really became successful, but in my mind I was like, I'm successful, I'm going to be successful, everything that I'm doing is getting me closer to my success. But and this is actually where the swingers comparison comes in, because it's like, when you're in a relationship, right? When you, and I'm gonna get real fucking, no, I'm not even gonna get super crass, but it's like, when you're in a relationship, okay, all of a sudden you're attractive to everybody else. When you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or a wife, or, you know, whatever, all of a sudden all the people that weren't interested in you are now suddenly interested in you. Whereas, like, when you're single and you're not messing around, you're not fucking with anybody else, nobody wants to fuck with you. So it's almost like, it's like those shows, you know what I mean? I forget what shows they were, where like the people would create these like fake boyfriends or girlfriends to like make them look more attractive. Because like they know, like, psychologically, if you're not available anymore, you're more attractive. If you're busy working and doing things, and you're a wanted commodity in the market, people want that and people will pay for that. But it's like, if you're the one chasing, it's almost like this, right? It's like the boy or the girl that you really liked, that you fucking chased nonstop. It's like, hey, you're gonna call me? Hey, can we hang out? Hey, can we do this? Hey, can we do that? Yada, yada, yada. And they're like, no, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. And then all of a sudden you're like, all right, eventually you get over it. Or you just stop chasing, or you just find somebody else to hang out with. And because you're not chasing them anymore, now they're like, wait a second, where's this person that chased me all this time? Oh, they really were that cool. Oh, they really were that attractive. Oh, they really were fun. I never realized it before because I was too busy being chased. And you flip the whole game on them. You go from chasing to being chased. And when you can get chased, when people are looking for you now because you're out there, you know what I mean? Because you're now like marketing well, and you're showing success, and you're showing work, and you're not just like this quiet, timid, like, yeah, I'm an artist, but I don't talk about it. You know, this is actually why I created this whole channel. So it's basically to hopefully help inspire people to just get out there and start showing your shit, because it's like, when you have enough, like I posted this thing, like I'm working on this painting right now, right? And I posted a picture of it on Facebook, and like 5 minutes after I posted it on Facebook, I got a message from somebody, and they were like, hey man, I want you to paint something for me, because every time I see you post something, like, I want anyway, like I got a new gig. I'm doing some custom artwork for a client because they saw me posting work, they saw me talking about work, they saw me doing work, they saw me sharing success stories, they've seen, you know, and because of that, I'm getting more work, I'm getting more offers, I'm getting more requests, and yes, I am turning some of them down because some of them just, you know, they're full of shit. But anyway, be confident about what you're doing, and don't be afraid to be that bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? You don't always have to be the nice person. You don't always have to be the nice girl. You don't always have to be the nice guy. You can be for real. You can be straight up. You can say, this is what I want. This is how I want it. And if you're not, you know, like literally set the rules for the game and get paid for what you want. You know what I mean? I was actually having a conversation with my buddy Dave, who I haven't talked to in like a year. And, you know, he's doing some graphic design work. He's doing a lot of like custom work for these, he loves disc golf, right? And he's doing like a bunch of these like custom t-shirts and like hats and shit like that for these disc golf companies. And, you know, and we were talking, and I was basically like, and I was showing him some of the stuff I've been doing, and I was like, yeah, man, I raised all my prices like 6-7 months ago because I'm tired of fucking tire kickers. And what's funny is I'm getting more work because I raised my prices to turn off the people that are just gonna kick tires and ask me for exposure work or fucking cheap work or whatever. And he was like, yeah, man, I should probably do that too. And he's like, and he's not a cheap artist either. Like he does, like he charges what a lot of people would consider a lot of money. But it's still the same thing. It's like, you don't want tire kickers. So anyway, it's just like, realize that there is, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going on a fucking almost a half hour now. But basically it's, just realize that there is no scarcity out there. And there are people out there that want your work. They want to do business with you, okay? But the way you present yourself has a lot to do with how you market yourself and how you will be viewed in the market. And how you view yourself is basically like how other people are going to view you, okay? Be successful, be cool, be confident, be fun, and get out there and do your shit, okay? Be a badass. Go be a fucking badass. I know you can do it, okay? And just stay away from fucking idiots and spiteful, hateful people. Get around people that show love and support. It will greatly increase everything and expand all the energy in your life so that you can create and draw in more abundance into your life. Okay? Hopefully, I don't know, like, I don't even know, like, I know where I was going with this, but hopefully you got the point I was making in this video. Just want to say thanks for the support. We're almost at 1,100 subscribers right now. Share the channel, share the page, do whatever. If you want to support, there might be a donate button or something, or, you know, support the funding of the channel button. But yeah, anyway, Max Uhas, lifeafterartschool.net. Love you guys. Peace the fuck out. And, you know, hug it out and go make something, go do something creative today. Thanks.